My name's Todd. I'm 31 years old. I was adopted from Seoul, South Korea, and I live in Long Island, New York.
My name is Yeun. I'm 31. I'm Korean American. I was born in Manhasset, New York, and now I live in Paramus, New Jersey. I grew up in a small town in Oradell, New Jersey, and there was only 4 Koreans in our town.
I was also from a predominantly white town, but instead of 4 people, I had 2, the other one being my sister. She was adopted from China. The first time I was in Korea, like I said, it was just a trip, vacation with friends. The second and third time, I honestly forget which one it was, we were able to visit the adoption agency, and in my case, Holt. I was able to actually have lunch with my foster parents. It was tough. It was tough because I didn't speak the language, and when I'm talking to somebody, I kind of don't want to talk through a translator. I don't like that. It's uncomfortable. And it was hard, when she translated what they were saying. She said that when they had to give me up, it was the hardest thing they had to do. So I was the only foster child they ever had. And then I actually was able to leave a letter from my mother at the orphanage at the adoption agency. And they said that they would, discreetly contact her and let her know that there's something there for her. That was my senior year in high school, and the following fall when I was in Stony Brook is when I received a letter at my college dorm. It was obviously forwarded to my parents. And I wrote a letter back, and that was pretty much the last. I didn't really hear anything else. I mean, it wasn't, there was no indication. It was like an open conversation. It was just, for me at the time, just having some kind of contact, like knowing that the kid was real, was enough for me at the time. I've contemplated sending a letter back, considering it's been over 10 years. I always write it, and then I'd never send it. Not for any reason, it just never sounds right, like what I want to say. Because she told me that I had 2 half-brothers. The reason I wrote it was just because, I just wanted to let her know what was going on, and just probably in the back of my mind that I'm still here. I'm not, like I said, I'm not looking for anything, but I just figure that, if I was her in that situation, I'm sure that, it's very hard for her to try to contact me, or even if it's possible because of her current family situation, that, I would just want to know if I was her. So that's what it was. It was just a brief synopsis of my life for the past, 10 to 12 years. But like I said, I never sent it. It's just something I just need to get around to doing. Obviously, someday I hope that I would get a chance, even if it's just once. So.
Growing up with predominantly white families, I see them going on picnics. I see them going out like on vacations. I'm a product of immigrant parents that were always working. What are vacations? Like I come out of school in high school and I'm going straight to work, and then on Saturdays SAT school, and then straight to work, helping out. And it's just it was partially jealousy on top of it, because you see it on TV, you see like Dick Van Dyke Show growing up and all those other TV shows, and like the ideal white picket fence family going out, and we didn't have that really.
I grew up in an all-white community, and like, I got made fun of a lot for being Asian, and it was like to a point where, I thought it was, I thought being white was kind of like, the norm. Whereas like, they'd see like some Asian people, they start they'd make fun of them, and like it would make me almost embarrassed to, if that was me. But I never thought like, I wish I was white. I only really thought about being different from my parents when, I was being made fun of or anything like that happened in school. So, who knows what I was thinking back then. In my mind, I might have already been Caucasian or white, so I didn't really, spend my nights thinking about, wanting to actually be physically Caucasian.
Before 2006, my trip to Korea, I absolutely identified myself as American. Then after the trip, after learning some of the culture and what it has to offer for me, I finally found my niche, because growing up here I felt American, but with a Korean side, and didn't know where I exactly fit. But now I can officially say I feel as a Korean American. That's how I label myself now.
I think that before I moved to New York, I would really identify myself more with being an American. But I think now that I've spent some time around a lot of Korean people. I've been immersed in my culture to a certain point. Even though I don't speak, or I don't really clearly don't like some of the things in the culture, I still identify with being Korean. I think that's probably one of the more unique things about me. So
My name is Stephen Yeun, or Yeun Chae-kyung, and this is my Korean American story.
my name is Chris Todd, or No Jae Kwan, and this is my Korean American story.